the restaurant industry isn't exactly known for paying well, so maybe signs like this are not that surprising. Here at Empire Eats, they're paying what they call a living wage in Wake County. All of that has cleared up. Behind me, though, I want to show you the concern now. It has to do with creek levels. You can see the Crabtree Creek here is pretty full. We have learned this house is now a total loss, and behind us you can see why. A large tree came down and it took down a side of the home with it. You can see the roof, the siding, the insulation, all of it is down. You can even see into that home. You can see that mattress just hanging out. So many here in Southern Pines are touched by the loss of these 13 service members, among them Staff Sergeant Ryan Knaus, who lived close by. His wife, Alina, is devastated, but also grateful. If you come for the pre-show, you can meet the animals like Silver Dollar here up close and personal. I spoke with the mayor here in Wendell. She tells me she does not support a mandate. She believes the focus should be on vaccinations. She believes that's the way out of this pandemic and these rising trends. She points the finger at the state and county, saying that they should be offering shots right here in town. The state and county dispute that, saying there are shots available nearby. Despite the concerning COVID-19 trends, the town of Wendell won't make masks mandatory indoors. The mayors of most of Wake County's 12 municipalities met this morning to discuss it. I reached out to each of them after to see where they stood. The mayors of Apex, Fuquay-Varina, Holly Springs, Wake Forest, and Wendell all tell me they're opposed.
The bottom line is we support masks, but we don't want to support mandates.
We just want to encourage people to get the vaccine and wear a mask when appropriate.
Wake County Chairman Matt Calabria says the county is still moving forward with a mask mandate. It would apply in municipalities where mayors approve it, like Raleigh, and in unincorporated parts of the county.
The CDC has shown time and again that mask mandates do drive down infection rates. It also provides cover, frankly, for businesses and for establishments.
So what do business owners make of the plan? Several of them declined to go on camera, saying the issue had become political and that they support it. The owner of the Rusty Bucket in Apex, Mac Thorpe, had no problem sharing his thoughts.
If it's what it takes to control this virus and keep it from spreading, I have no problem with putting a mask back on.
Now, the mayors in Wake County will be meeting again on Monday. Calabria tells me he will be working the phones all weekend long, trying to get more of these mayors on board. The county is already in the process of drafting a proposal for this mandate. They're hoping it would pass Tuesday or Wednesday and then take effect possibly by the end of next week. Live in Wendell, Amy Cutler, CBS 17.
Amy,
the city is telling me that this is the result of unplanned absences and that they're reviewing the matter, but that answer is not good enough for some people who are telling me this is part of a much larger problem.
Reviewing and investigating.
That's Deputy City Manager Bo Ferguson in a videotape message addressing the staffing shortage at Durham's 911 call center. It meant all 911 calls that came in Saturday night were answered in Raleigh. The information then relayed back to Durham so first responders could be dispatched.
The problem's not being resolved, or they're not hiring, they're not filling those positions.
I first introduced you to Jimmy Wright, the president of the Professional Firefighters of Durham, back in January. Raleigh's 911 call center had been taking some of Durham's calls for about a month. He was concerned it could lead to an increase in response times. Back then, Durham said a COVID outbreak caused the staffing shortage. But now, 5 months later, nothing has changed.
Wake County communications is going to be taxed, trying to handle Durham's calls and theirs.
I reached out to Raleigh's 911 call center. They tell me they were notified Saturday afternoon Durham would need additional help. The director writing, there is a possibility that there could be delays for those in Wake County. However, I haven't found any at this time. Durham tells me they're supposed to have 60 people who can answer calls. They're down 26 positions. 4 slots will be filled soon.
It is not an approved practice of the city or the 911 leadership to route all incoming 911 calls to the Raleigh Wake Center.
Now, the Raleigh 911 call center tells me they are not being paid for this assistance and that they anticipate it stopping in June. The Durham 911 call center would not put a timeline on it. I also want to mention that we received an email from a concerned 911 call taker in Raleigh tonight saying that this was impacting morale and the work they do. We're going to keep pushing for answers on this one. Live in Durham, Amy Cutler, CBS 17 News.
You never expect it to be you.
The knock on her door came at 12:06 Friday afternoon. Army officials informing her the love of her life, her husband of 5 years, Staff Sergeant Ryan Knaus, wouldn't be coming home.
I know people are honored to have known him, and they're honored of his sacrifice. I'm honored just to have been his wife, truly honored.
Their love story began when they were just 16 years old, working at a pizza shop.
No work got done for that pizza business. They lost tons of money paying our salaries because we were flirting.
Ryan enlisted the next year.
He had the recruiter literally follow him home that day to get the paperwork signed by his parents because he was a minor, and they signed and he joined up.
They got engaged and married soon after. That must have been so hard for him to deploy and for you not to know exactly where he was or what he was doing or how he was doing.
And even when I thought I knew where he was, that's not where he was, which was a lot of the confusion when I found out.
Alina tells me she learned late Monday that Ryan was the last American service member to die in Afghanistan during our nation's longest war. He was 23 years old. Does it make it any more complicated because of, the politics of Afghanistan and when the pullout happened and how it happened?
I think the gift of service members is they do it for the country and not the politicians. He is right where he wanted to be. I'm proud of him. I really am.
Alina is speaking out because she wants people to know that behind each of these service members killed, there is a story and a family forever changed. In Southern Pines, Amy Cutler, CBS 17 News.